Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights reaction. Today we have Little Wish. I was about to get to Lollipop and then I'm like, wait, I saw Little Wish in the corner and I'm like, I haven't listened to that yet. And I remember seeing a bunch of comments asking me to months ago, and like ever since basically this song came out, people have asked, and I just never got to it for whatever reason. I don't really even remember why. So I'm going to listen to this today. Also, a lot of people said I should watch the Levitain Awakening like animation. So like I don't usually do just reactions of the animations unless I make it an animation analysis, which I could do. So like let me know if I should add that to my list of things to do a proper animation analysis on, and I'll get to it someday. I have quite a few on there, so it might be a few months down the road, but I'm willing to go back to it if people really want me to. Either way though, time for Little Wish. Let's go! Okay, Mario Kart. More Mario Kart than I actually thought it was gonna be. Oh, never mind. Well, kind of. They do kind of both have the jazz flavor in them. Hey. I'm sure most of you know how I feel about City Pop, and if you don't, what I'm doing right now should be a very obvious hint. I love the filtering on the vocals. That is a beautiful filter. It's just warm enough. Has that late 70s, early 80s sound. Oh. And this specific keyboard sound too. We vibe with the optimism of City Pop. Love that.
止まっちゃった。じゃあ皆さんクラップで歌いましょう。Tell me 鏡よ鏡一番好きな
Why am I actually clapping?
Tell me 鏡よ鏡一番好きな私になるの。
Oh, going to a bridge from there. Okay.
世界で一つオリジナルストーリーは無限大誰にも真似はできない
A little pop vocal backup.
負けない強い自分をください
Hell yeah.
お願い
We vibing.
お願いどうか願いを叶えて I do my best.
Hell yeah. That fucking like bass line synth you. A lot of Yamaha patches, I think. Would totally make sense. Might not be Yamaha, but it feels very Yamaha. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Yamaha had a very heavy stranglehold on basically the entirety of city pop for a while. Maybe a little bit of Roland in there too, really depends. All right, so fun with city pop. Here we are in the key of B flat. So this isn't really, at least in my experience, too common of a key to do city pop in, although there really is no written rule to do any certain song in any certain key. It's just some tend to work better in certain keys. It really just depends on the vibe you're going for. And also a progression that, while popular in pop, isn't necessarily super popular either. We get a B flat, a D minor. I think it goes down the next octave for the G minor, and then it also might jump back up for this E flat to an F. It's kind of hard to tell because a lot of city pop does utilize sevenths, which is basically just adding the seventh above on any given triad. So like if this is the triad of G minor, the seventh would be adding this up here. So you'd get that. And there's a lot of that expansion in city pop. It's just one of those things they borrowed from jazz for the genre that they love to throw in there, so it can be very difficult. Like, for example, I think that the B flat in here might actually be an inversion of B flat, which is the same notes just played differently. So the one I played earlier was this, and the one I think might be in here is this. It's the same chord, it's just using a different fingering. So instead of like the first finger on the B flat, second finger on the D, and third finger on the F, you would take the first finger on the C, second finger on the F, and then on the B flat at the top above that. It's the same notes, just it sounds different. So like you take this sort of a progression from, for those first two that we get, you would go instead, and there's a step down. You can hear how that would change the voicing and tone of the song right there. And since there is a little bit of that walk down, it might just be because they're adding sevenths, potentially ninths in here, which, for example of that, if I were to play the B flat and then add the seventh onto that, that's what this would be. But if I were to add the ninth as well, it would be, and there's just a whole mess going on in there too. I could also remove the seventh, just be the ninth. You can see how that covers more ground in general. So that's why it's hard to tell. Musically, city pop borrows so much from jazz that it is pretty difficult to like sonically dissect what's happening. And that's not a bad thing at all. I love that complexity, but also it does make things a little bit harder to figure out, especially given the certain synths that they were using and they used in this song as well. And the warmness of all of it, some of those frequencies kind of get lost for me. So it can be difficult to tell exactly what's being played here. And also I had some issues with just trying to find some of the chords. Like I believe that step down that happens right in the pre-chorus was a C minor, a C flat, which is actually a B. So it's like a step down. And then I think it goes up to the E flat and then up to the F. I don't think it goes down and back up. Either way though, you're kind of getting this like, you can hear how those work together, and you could also do the same thing. It just feels a little bit too low, and that's another spot where they might be utilizing the secondary fingerings of those chords, so it would sound a little bit more together by borrowing some notes from the proper octaves. That's getting into music theory stuff too deep. I need to stop doing that. Point being, this is a complex genre, and that's why I love city pop. I think that a lot of people sleep on city pop just going, well, it's pop, right? There's nothing that interesting about it, but it's like, that's completely wrong. They're borrowing so much from jazz and blues that it's like, you're gonna get some complexity in there, especially in the keyboards and the synths, because all of that has so much happening that you're going to make this song sound so much more complex. I talk about this basically every single time I talk about city pop, just because it's so interesting to me. But in general, this song is fun. It's city pop. I love city pop. I've mentioned it, I don't know how many times, how much I enjoy city pop. It just hits right. And again, the like filtering that they were adding to the vocals in here, the perfect amount of like that warmth that would come out of that era. Just, I swear they put just a filter on, but oh man, it's so good. They might have used like a more proper microphone from the era, but I feel like it's more of like a mixing sort of thing and like making things sound a little bit more tube mixed instead of like a modern digital style mix. So it keeps that warmth together. That's just a characteristic I've always loved about it. But a lot of that does actually fall back onto being older. So you're going to get a worse mix, quote unquote, versus the more modern approaches to things that sound a little bit cleaner, but there's a quality to that I just love, that like little warm fuzz in the song is a quality of city pop that I adore, and I love that they threw in here, as well as, again, the specific synths that they were using. I know I mentioned like the Yamaha thing. I have no grounds for that. It's just a gut feeling, because a lot of Yamaha stuff was being used at that time, especially for city pop stuff. I really don't know, though. It could be from any company out there, but it would make sense to me if they were to use Yamaha stuff to represent that era, because God, it was everywhere. Yamaha was all over the fucking place. So I really would not be shocked. But even down to like the drums and getting the specific drum tones that they did, again, just that kind of like fuzzy warmth that the drums had, utilizing the single hits for like the fills on the toms, all these sorts of things musically that are very identifiable to the genre, and they nailed that with the whole feel of this song. I did look up the lyrics, and about what I expected, really nothing to mention, so to speak, so I'm just gonna kind of leave that on the table. The vocalist was fucking great, though. Her voice is perfect for the genre. Again, the filtering probably helps out with kind of fitting her in there, but point being, she still sounded absolutely fantastic, and it works. It's one of those songs where they just, again, another banger. Oops, another Arknights banger. Who would have guessed, right? They just did it right. I love it when they do city pop in Arknights too, because they've done it a few times and I've loved it each time. They really get people who get that genre. I've heard way too many people try to do the city pop thing that just don't get it. And clearly the people that they hire know this genre. They love this genre, and you can really feel that through it. So overall, just a fantastic track. I love the sound of it. I love the extra mile they went for all the aesthetics in there, and they just made it sound good. Also, things like the clapping and everything, just the little things that made this feel a little bit more personal, made it all work out the better. But I think I've been yapping enough, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Arknights, by all means, drop in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!